Good afternoon. Let me go ahead and call this special meeting of the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District to order. It is Monday, July 25th. It is 12:07 p.m. and we're at the Ringgold Elementary Library located at 1 South 4 Ringgold, Rio Grande City, Texas. For purposes of determining that we have a quorum, let me go ahead and take roll call. That's section 1. Mr. Elizar Velasquez Jr., not present. Mr. John A. Pope IV,
Present.
Mr. Noe Castillo,
Present.
Mr. Basilio D. Varela Jr.,
Present.
Mr. J. Peña,
Present.
and myself, Eddie Ramirez. Let the minutes reflect that we do have a quorum. Section 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Pope, will you help us with the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Pope. Before we proceed to any action items, I do need to mention that we've had two district family members who recently passed away, and as has become custom, we acknowledge their passing in their honor and their remembrance. So we have Francisca Zee Garza, passed away on June 25th. She spent her entire career in education, first as a school nurse in Roma, before spending her last 5 years here at Gruya Elementary in the same capacity. We also have Mr. Tiberio Ramirez, passed away on July 14th. He dedicated 29 years of his life to serving our students as a math teacher at all levels, with most of his time at Rio Grande City High School. And on him, I can at least attest to seeing so many posts and on social media and everywhere else where he was just beloved by students and colleagues and staff alike. So they're tremendous losses, and I think the least we can do is give him a moment of silence, please. Thank you all so very much. Section 3, action items. Item number 1, discussion, consideration, and possible action to appoint Dalinda Escobar as RGCGISD trustee for position 5. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item 1?
I so move, Mr. President.
We have a motion by Mr. Varela. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
I actually got 2 seconds, but I'll go with Mr. Peña in this case. Any discussion required? All right, there being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Mr. Dalinda Escobar, congratulations. I know you have family here. She's an insurance agent. She's once served on the board in the past, 1998, I think. I graduated in 1997, so. But let's go ahead and proceed now with the swearing in. Mr. Varela, Judge Varela. Dalinda Escobar, you can come to the front, please. Right here.
Anywhere.
Aquí en the middle. Side to side.
Now I know how women feel when they are putting on.
Not even close, Dile. Not even close.
Next to this flag, Mr. Escobar.
You want to stand up?
In the middle. That's right. Bring the flag over here. I state your name.
I, Dalinda Escobar,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully
that I would faithfully
execute
execute
the duties
the duties
of the office
of the office
of school board trustee
of school board trustee
for the
for the
Rio Grande
Rio Grande City
Gruya
Gruya
Independent
Independent School District
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will, to
and-
the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect, defend
defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
You want family, get family picture?
Family members, guys, family members, if we can get a picture.
Put on the very end. Ahorita we'll get. Sí, ahorita.
Super Nintendo. Where are your pen?
Yes, sir. All right. Welcome, Mrs. Escobar. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if there's anything you want to say, this is it. You have the
Yes.
chance. The floor is
Yes.
yours.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank actually the board that entrusted in me to appoint me. I know that there were other names out there. I've been here before, and most of you know me, most of you don't. But out in the community, I guess you all know me. I'm an insurance agent, and I'm all over town. But I want to thank my family for being here, my daughter, my nieces that are here. And I'm here to work with a board that put me here, and plus the ones that didn't want me here. I will work together with them, the same, and I'm a team player, and the board here, ya me conoce. Little Johnny used to hang around with my son, pero Basilio, thank you so much, Eddie, Noe, Jay, for entrusting in me to appoint me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I will be here for the children, the teachers, the administration, and taxpayers, all alike. Thank you so much.
On that beautiful note, let's go to item 2. Let's consider and take possible action on donations to Rio Grande City Gruya ISD. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item 2?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 2 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Just don't forget the thank you letters on the donations, please, Ms. Robles. Item number 3, consider and take possible action on proposal for civil engineering services for the Gruya High School balconies, rail extensions. Do I have a motion, any discussion on item number 3?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 3 with the recommendation of what our administration is proposing.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mrs. Escobar. Any discussion? All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 4, consider and take possible action on proposal for civil engineering services for the Rio Grande City High School balconies rail extensions. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 4?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 4 as presented with the recommendation of administration.
There's a
Whatever they're
motion.
proposing.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. Any discussion required?
Just one quick note. This is for the safety concern?
Mr. Lopez, I have Marin Lopez presenting.
I know we're doing one for both high schools, but this was for the safety concern?
Yes, sir. That's exactly the purpose behind it.
And we might have had some issues at the Rio High, right? But we're not sure about the Gruya High? It was in both?
It is for both. Yes.
It's the one before.
The one
both.
prior was
The one.
It's for the secondaries.
Yes.
The second floor.
The one prior was for Gruya High School. This one's for Rio High.
Yes.
Yes.
I recall the issues. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Right. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 5, consider and take possible action on proposal for band instruments for Gruya High School and Rio High School. Do we have a motion or any discussion on item number 5?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 5 as presented with the, just as proposed on item 5 in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Pope. Any discussion required?
Just, we have funding, yes? Okay.
And I'm being told this is the first time in a long time that we purchase instruments. Is that correct?
Yes,
That's
we have
it.
Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Gonzalez here.
Well, maybe they can tell us what we're purchasing.
Yes.
A big
Please,
drum, sir, or what are we
Are they
purchasing?
here? Mr. Rodriguez? Mr. Gonzalez? I know he's here. Or whether he is.
Good afternoon. It's basically to replenish all the instruments that are non-functional and to provide instruments for all band students. Numbers are going high.
Are we talking trombones, baritones?
Oh,
More or less.
Percussion and woodwind instruments.
Okay. Woodwind, like what,
and-
saxophones?
No saxophones.
No saxophones. Then what are the woodwinding instruments we're replacing?
Bass clarinets, contra, the low reeds.
Okay. I guess
And
saxophone-
the drum set was how old, sir, you told me, when y'all came with the request?
2007, but some of the percussion equipment date back to 1976.
Hey, 1976 is a good year, sir.
I was not born yet, so.
That makes two of us.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's just emergency needs.
okay.
Very good. All right. Any further discussion? Thank you both.
Thank you for everything you do, sir.
Thank you both. No further discussion needed. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 6, consider and take possible action on agreement for drug testing services. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 6?
Mr. President, I move that we approve items 6 and 7 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Pope. Is there any discussion required on either of those items? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 8, consider and take possible action on requisitions of $5,000 and over. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 8?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 8 as presented in our board packet, I guess with the addendum, correct?
Yes, sir.
That is correct. Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. Is there any discussion required?
Can you give me a little second just to see
Yes,
the
of
addendum?
course. And then we have Mr. Guerra or Ms. Robles presenting, in case they have any questions.
Real quickly, on the copier maintenance for all district, did we go out for proposals, or is that a good bid, or?
We already had a bid in place, so it's just a continuation.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, we're paying for 212,000 for maintenance on all the machines. That includes
District-wide.
toners and paper, or no paper?
No paper.
No paper, okay.
I have a question on requisition number 348817. It's the chillers,
Okay.
Carrier Corporation.
Okay.
Could we maybe explain that one, shed a little light on that one?
You said it was number which one?
348817, it's the last one
The
on the
last
second
item.
page.
It is the one that the ACE Middle School is needing. It's been out for a while, so we do need to replace it. Our students are going back and our staff, so we are in dire need of that.
So it's it's an AC unit, or is it
No,
some type of a storage, or?
No,
It's a
it's the
chiller.
actual chiller,
It's a
like for the
chiller,
whole
chiller.
AC, yeah, for the whole building, everything.
And I know there's been problems with that one for a
We've
long
been having
time.
issues for a while.
So this should take care,
This
this
should take
resolve it,
care,
right?
yes. And I know I did talk to Mr. TJ, to Mr. Gonzalez, and Alex Garza, and they did mention, I know Mr. Arreaja last time, they do come with a 5-year warranty that includes labor and parts.
Very good.
Is it going to be ready by the beginning of school year, I think, hopefully?
That is the plan, sir. Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr.
We
Penny.
also, at the Ace Middle, we already had, we have a purchase order already, and parts have been slow coming in, but they should be in already, and that one should be fixed. So Ace Middle has two different. You also see on the list, Ace Elementary, that gym went out. So we had to relocate the services for, the health going on right now here in the district, right, from the state. They changed Operation Lone Star to,
The Ringgold Middle?
no, but the name of the program is no longer Operation Lone Star.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now it's Operation Border Health.
Border Health.
Yes, sir. So we had to change, only what was going to happen at the gymnasium due to this. But we already have all these in place. We hope that the parts come in time so we can have them ready.
All right.
But these should be the last units in our district because as you've been seeing them throughout the whole year, we've been working on our campuses, throughout with the ACs, and hopefully this will be the end. We also had one for Gruya High School that's on the list, so they should be the end of the main units.
So it should be nice and cold at the
Yes,
beginning of
sir.
school year? Okay.
Same
No.
vendor, Carrier, also?
Well, it depends on the codes that we've
Okay.
got.
Got it.
I've also noticed there's a lot of more back-to-school supplies. Does that conclude, is that
This should
everybody now?
conclude
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Yes,
That
sir.
should include all
There were
schools.
some items that were probably on back order and, campuses had to resubmit and so,
Okay.
but this should be it. We started ordering those since early June.
All right, very good. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Guerra. Item number 9, consider and take possible action on awarding the following is RFP number 22-09, repairs and maintenance for kitchen equipment and refrigeration for child nutrition program. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 9?
I move that we approve item 9 as presented in our board packet with whatever the recommendations are.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Castillo. Any discussion required? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Consider and take possible action on, item 10, consider and take possible action on orientation and mobility consultant contract renewal for the 2022-2023 school year. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 10?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 10 as presented in our board packet with some discussion.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Peña. You may proceed with discussion, Mr. Varela.
Yes, what is this?
Okay, orientation and, well, good afternoon, first of all, Mr. Board President, Mr. Ramirez, board members, Mr. Peña, Superintendent of Schools, and audience present. The orientation and mobility services are basically services that are provided to students who are visually impaired throughout the district, and we do have a contract with Mr. Roberto D. Huerta. He's a certified orientation and mobility specialist, better known as a COMS, and basically this contract is going to be becoming effect on August 1st, 2022 until July 31st, 2023. The estimated cost for this project or for this service is going to be $49,500, and funding is going to be provided through IDEA B 224, pending availability of funds. And as a matter of fact, on Saturday, we were already notified by TEA that our grant was approved, so we have funding for all of these items already.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Any further discussion? All right, there being none, all those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 11, consider and take possible action on contract renewal with ABC Therapy Incorporated for physical therapy services for the 2022-2023 school year. Is there any discussion, or any motion or any discussion on item 11?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 15 as presented in our board package.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 11 through 15. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. Is there any discussion required on any of those items? I'll give you some time. None being raised. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Item 16, discussion.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Ms.
Thank
Garcia,
you so
for the
much.
job you're doing, because I know it's a tough task where you're at, so thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Discussion, consideration, and possible action on permission to re-roof and repaint the old, there's a typo there, it should be polo, not pollo. Somebody was hungry. But the old polo. So, I'm sorry, but it was kind of funny when I read the first time. I had to seek clarification multiple times. The old polo, not Boyle Field, viewing stand and rails, and the old entrance guard house and fueling station. I know that there's some discussion that Mrs. Ramos and Mr. Lopez wanted to present, so you go ahead and present, Mr. Lopez, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent, Mr. Peña, community members. I do want to call Ms. Maria Elia Ramos up. I'll go a little bit into, this is a project, and I'll let her do most of the talking when it comes to the actual project, but it is a project here where Ms. Ramos, as a community member, is going to basically pay for the materials for these projects, and the district is, if board approves, will pick up the labor for these projects here. And again, I'll pass it over to Ms. Ramos.
Okay.
I got the word to be nice today, so, and I'll try not to be sarcastic.
We appreciate that. Yeah.
I know you do, and it's for you. I'm doing this for you.
It's the Linda's Day, yeah.
The reason I say I convinced my husband to go along with plan, that I picked those two buildings to fix is I want to say that we're doing a wonderful job with all of Fort Ringel, and you all know how much I love Fort Ringel, even though I was not born here and I did not come to school here. I said it's going to be so pretty and so fixed up, and look at the Little League field. Well, that was originally a polo field during the Calvary days, during the post. And for your information, Sam was not born there, but his father did practice there. He was in the Calvary in the late 30s and early 40s. So kind of a tribute to him. And then, of course, in 1948, when it became a school, it became a practice field for baseball. And I've had so many people tell me, we used to practice here, and we used to practice here. So it was kind of like we want to remember those days. It's a shame that our kids are all into these games, but they don't know where things happened in Fort Ringel. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity to give a little history lesson, as well as to show appreciation for the service that the fort has given. And then I saw the fuel house, and I said, that's the first thing that people see when they come to a football game, and look, it's so ugly. So I added it to my list of got to be fixed. So we got the ball rolling, thanks to Marin and Mr. Villarreal. Friday we came and we got the bids, and we'll be happy to continue with that, and hopefully by the time the August event comes along, those two buildings will be there. We will be placing plaques, especially on this one, for the historical significance of both as a polo field and as a gathering place for Little League. Little League is kind of like a lost thing in Rio. Some of you will remember your Little League days and what wonderful times we had as parents. And we don't have, I know you all lost so many games now. Superstars, okay. But
She remembers.
only little leaguers know those jokes. Anyway, we need to remember those, and we need, hopefully with the school district, we'll be having some lessons. I think we need to instill more in our kids about the great history that we have here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos. Thank you so very much.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Mr.
Go ahead, Mr. Lopez.
Mr. Ramirez, and again,
Yes.
just with the condition, and I think Ms. Ramos pretty much has most of it covered. We are pending a little bit. We're basically up to whatever point she gets to on the material
Right.
is what we will cover labor on.
Well, I want to propose something. I saw the numbers, they're not that high, they're just a couple of $1,000s. Why don't we just finish it off so we can do it the right way? And in other words, it'd be tough, we did this and we did that, but this is still pending. And I saw the numbers are only $3,000 or $4,000 on the cement pillars. My question is, why don't we just finish it all off and do it the right way? Because this stuff about, doing it halfway, 10 years down or 20 years down the line, it's still going to be halfway. I think the number was to do the cement pillars was $4,000. That was labor and materials, which.
I think if the numbers are less than that, I think the
Yeah.
superintendent has discretion.
No, I'm just saying, let's finish that little baseball field and let's finish that other one. If it's going to cost us a little extra, not a big deal.
And let me just real quick go over the numbers
Please
in
do.
terms here
Yes.
as a district that we're looking to cover. In regards to the, what is called the field station, and again, it's basically right there across the tennis courts. The labor for that is estimated at $2,650.
Okay.
The labor for the polo stand there at the baseball field and the backstop, combined labor was $2,950. And what we had pending, again, what Mr. Varela was talking about is the fence columns around the field, the baseball field, and the steel tubing. The labor for that was $2,825. If they were not going to be able to reach the materials for that last part were, I think, an additional $2,000 to this. So if the board,
I want to move that we do it, let's just complete it. It's not, we're not talking tens of thousands of dollars. We're just talking a little bit, and that way we can get it done. And I don't like to leave projects half done.
You can
I
make
don't
that
know.
motion, Mr. Odell?
So I'm going to move that we basically approve item 16 in its totality, basically.
But there's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. If there's no further discussion required, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Thank
Before-
you, Mr. Lopez. Thank you, Mrs. Ramos.
Before
Sam Ramos, too.
we leave this thing, I'm going to tell Ms. Ramos, we want to thank every single person who's ever contributed. There's been a ton of people and some are still not some are with us, some are not with us, but the fort, it's a combination of a lot of people, and basically just take this opportunity to thank every single individual that had anything to do with it, like I think that Linda said earlier, the people that are most responsible for what we've got, and like John said, is the taxpayers. They're the ones who approved the bond issue for us to do that. If we didn't have that money, we'd still be where we were before, so. I'm gonna be honest, I'll be honest, Ms. Ramos, to come up with $1 million and change is tough. And we, at this time, like John said, and he mentioned it to me the other day, if somebody's to be thanked, it's the taxpayers for approving the bond and paying for the bond. So let's take that opportunity to thank them and thank everybody who had something to do with it.
Amen.
And it's about everybody. It's not about any individual.
have to look at Fort Ringel as a group. And sometimes we put it away and we forget about it. And then when we take it out, we see that it's on
Well,
the dusty side and we forgot
well,
to take care. But we need to take every chance we have to time.
But I will say, and I don't want to give this board kudos, but I will. This board has, not only had I call it the courage to pass a bond issue and include that, but basically some of the first projects that we did were things repairing of the fort. That bond issue, you can take whatever projects you want, but we thought, the whole board thought that was the most significant. And that's how come you go to the fort now, and what it was 3 years ago, what it is today, you can't even compare.
And
hopefully we can continue.
I will add that there's a lot of contractors, local contractors that are out there contributing and donating stuff on their own for free, extra, just because they love what they're doing and because they're getting all these comments from the community. So the community sees it too. They wouldn't be doing that if they weren't being applauded for it.
And we appreciate it, and of course, we need to give credit to the Revive Fort Ringgold era.
Yeah.
where
Everybody, ma'am, every single person. Revive Fort Ringgold and everybody else, ma'am.
everybody's
Yeah.
supported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, some that they're here a couple of years and then they go into hiatus, whatever. But we need to thank everybody.
Exactly.
Amen.
I have been here. Like
And-
I said, I was not born here and I did not come to school.
And Ms. Ramos, you're not sarcastic, okay?
Oh, you don't know her that well, Mr. Martin. Anyway,
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes,
we've
Mr.
also
Peña.
used district funds for it,
I was
not
about to
only
say,
bond.
it's bond money, but then what the bond money didn't cover. And I want to, honestly, I want the community and the public to know how much of the bond money was and how much the district has put in, because I think there's a lot of confusion, people saying it's the bond, so that goes to the taxpayers. Much love, appreciation for that. But there is a certain amount, I think we exhausted that pretty quick. So the extra money did come from district funds, which we have to, pull from somewhere else to be able to do it. So, kudos to the administration, again, the board for approving that, because it is a lot of money. The bond money that was allotted for it, I think we exhausted the first week or so, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me also take the opportunity, I think Gina, through her program, also fixed one of the buildings, correct?
Amen.
And Ms. Robles we need the roof on that building, but if anybody needs to go by, we need to put her as a designer of the school, in the interior of the school. I've never seen it's a beautiful, beautiful building. Congratulations.
Yeah.
For the record, Mr. Ramirez and members of the board, we are moving our celebration due to the paving project there at Fort Ringgold.
Yeah.
It's taken a little longer than expected, so we're moving it to August 19th in the evening, 6 to 10, and on the 20th. So the parade and those activities will be taking place on the 20th.
Awesome.
And then I'll express just one quick concern, maybe a request to your administration, and that would be that all of this is all for naught if the kids don't understand the importance of it. And this generation is different. They want their information faster. They think differently. And so I encourage the school to find new ways to incorporate the fort and the facilities into the teaching programs that we have. Because
So we are using,
I've taken the opportunity to talk to some of them, and they know the fort's there, but I don't think they quite understand what a lot of it means. And I think we need to, as I said, we'll lose it.
as part of our celebration, we have students and teachers that are going to be presenting those 2 days. So they're researching right now and getting PowerPoints and doing a pamphlet and a flyer to be providing those days, but PR will be recording and we'll share it. We do have our TV station that we started last year, so can also incorporate, not only classroom lessons, but our new station in the different segments of it.
We're also going to have
Thank you, sir. TikTok. Well, you're an expert at that, sir. You're an
They want
expert.
that information fast.
No, he's not an expert, he just likes attention.
I just like TikTok.
I just wanted to make.
He's an expert.
Okay, I
Mrs.
just wanted to
Guardia.
make a comment about that for you. And maybe we should get our district involved with the history classes and maybe bring the kids like on a field trip and, teach them. That would be,
Well, I want to tell you, Ms. Ramos, that sometimes I get 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds that go through my thing because they got speeding tickets. I want to have them go painting here at the Fort Ringgold, those goddamn things. So we're gonna teach those kids about Fort Ringgold one way or another, okay?
If they're not coming to school here, they just come for a football game, maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
I think Eddie Ramirez said it best. The new generation nowadays, a lot of video games, a lot of computers. Not many kids read books these days, simply put.
We have to find a way around it. We still have to. That's our job.
Before I go into closed session, there was an omission on the condolence list that I was given. Mr. Joe Seal, we didn't include Mr. So I just want to put that out there that our hearts and prayers are with that family as well, and that moment of silence was for the Seal family also. We apologize for the omission. I don't really get a list, but his name was omitted, so I want to take the time to make sure that we mention his name and his family, and our thoughts and prayers are with them as well.
I think Mr. Seal worked with the district some 30, 40, 50. I think everybody knows Joe Seal.
That's, I mean, all these individuals, honestly, they dedicate their lives, and that's why taking a moment of silence is something so much. Yeah, that was a baseball. Talk about baseball, coach. There you go. But thank you all for everything.
Who were the superstars, Ms. Ramos?
You're looking at him. Jay was a catcher.
Did you win or did you lose, ma'am? But did you win or did you lose, ma'am? Okay. We're gonna get some
Pitcher.
We're gonna get some kids to verify that. Okay.
Jay,
That was the best T-ball pitcher.
Jay was the best T-ball pitcher. Yeah. No pitchando. Anyway.
Mr. Ramirez.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Peña.
Can we have a 15-minute break intermission at the end before we executive for the celebration? We have some cake and tea here.
Okay, let's break for
Before I go, also, Dalinda, congratulations. Thank you for being on the board.
family
And
member.
thank you.
All right, let's break up for a 15-minute session. It's 12:43 p.m. In section 5, we're reconvening back in open session. It is 2:15 p.m. Do I have a motion on item A?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item A as discussed in executive session with the caveat that we give authorization to the superintendent to hire any pending teachers that we need in the next few weeks.
I second.
There's a motion by Mr. Barrial, second by Mrs. Escobar. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Do I have a motion on item B?
Yeah, Mr. President, I move that we approve item B as discussed in executive session with the caveat of also
CL.
including
CL.
CL, including CL in this item.
Okay. There's a motion by Mr. Barrial. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Do I have a motion on item C?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item C as discussed in executive session.
There's a motion by Mr. Barrial. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Do I have a motion on item D?
I move that we approve item D as discussed in executive session. For discussion of rescinding the notice of proposed termination of CL.
Okay. There's a motion by Mr. Barrial. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Do I have a motion on item E?
I move that we basically accept the resignation and separation agreement of CL.
There's a motion by Mr. Barrial. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. And do I have a motion on item F?
Item F, I move that we approve item F as discussed in executive session with authority as discussed in executive session, giving authority as discussed in executive session.
There's a motion by Mr. Barrial. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor, so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. The meeting is hereby adjourned. It is 2:18 p.m. Thank you so very much.